How to actually meditate and get results with meditation, that's what I'm going to be explaining in this video. Probably without the dog though, because it's much easier to meditate without distractions. So if you've meditated, or you've never meditated before, this video is going to be perfect for you to give you some different types of meditations that you can do, because there's not just one type of meditation. Now, you may think meditation is sitting in a monastery with your hands like this, going boom, on top of a mountain, doing all this crazy stuff, wearing robes. Now, yes, that is meditation, but there's also many different meditations you can do, and I want to give you some insight into how you can specifically meditate for yourself. So I'm going to give you 3 options. You've got 1, mindfulness breathing meditations. And mindfulness meditations is the one that most people are probably most familiar with, which is where people say you need to clear your mind. And I wouldn't recommend starting there, because monks, nuns, and all people that meditate have done it for a very long time and have a lot of devotion to their meditation practice in order to get such good results with it. But if you just want to get some good results in your daily life, you don't necessarily need to meditate for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours on end while sitting in mountains with your incense sticks. You don't need to do that, but I recommend doing it because it's relaxing. But mindfulness meditation really is just focusing yourself and bringing yourself to the present moment. That's essentially what you're doing. I could go into the really deep stuff of it, but essentially that's what it is. You're getting yourself into the present moment so that time basically stops. And when you're in nowhere, no space, no time, that's where you begin to create from. So it's a very powerful place, but it's not necessary if you are a beginner. But if you are a beginner, why not start there as well? There's definitely places to start there, and you can. I would recommend personally going with option 2 or 3 if you are a beginner, and also if you haven't meditated before. I'm going to make a video on that specifically, so click up here if it's already out. As I said, the goal is to get yourself present. The best way to get yourself present is to bring your attention to your breath. There's varieties of different types of breathing you can do. There's so many yogic types of breathing, honestly, there's so many out there. Even down to people like Wim Hof's breathing, Joe Dispenza's breathing. And if you want any links to that, here's the Wim Hof one, and here's the Joe Dispenza one. But it's really bringing yourself, as I said, back to center. And the reason why you focus on breathing is because logically you can only really focus on something, one thing at a time. And people say they can multitask. Yes, they may be able to do 2 things at once, but they won't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to do both things to their highest ability at once. It's not physically possible unless you are some incredible, like, I don't know. It's not possible. But if you allow yourself to focus on your breath, then your mind physically can't focus on something else, like, fully. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're going to be completely thoughtless. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't get to that place. I've done it a few times, but it's not something that I personally strive to do. But what it allows you to do is, as I said, when something begins to wander, you can bring it straight back to your breath. When another thought begins to wander, you can bring it straight back to your breath. And a great way you can imagine this is 2 different ways that I personally use, is imagining a balloon is flying away and you're bringing it back. Or imagining the waves are going out and they're coming back in. And then whenever your thoughts begin to wander, bring it straight back to the breath. Feeling it going in and out. Because it's all based on your focus. So where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing back to the present moment. So that's mindfulness. If you want me to do a more in-depth video, comment below and I can do that for you. Make sure you stay to the end as well, because the 3rd meditation is my favourite and the most powerful in my opinion if you're looking to create something in your life and manifest whatever it is that you want as well. So just make sure you stay to the end. Number 2 is a body scan meditation. And as I said, there's so many different meditations. But a body scan meditation really is focusing your attention on parts of your body and focusing on relaxing it. Now, when I hypnotize someone, one thing I tend to do, not every time, but sometimes, I will get them into a state of hypnosis. I will do a hypnotic induction. Then I will get them to focus their attention on their body. Feeling every muscle in your head relax. Loosening your jaw and feeling it relax. Loosening your shoulders, feeling them drop down and relax. Feeling your body beginning to slow down and just completely let go and, you guessed it, relax. And the reason a body scan meditation is very powerful is because what you are doing is focusing the body to relax. Now, again, meditation is focus and relaxation, essentially. That's what it is. It's a deep state of mind, going from beta to alpha to theta, which is a meditative or deep hypnotic state, We don't want to reach delta because that's deep sleep, but theta is sort of the sweet spot. That's where we want to get to. The best way we're going to get there is when everything begins to relax and slow down and time doesn't become apparent. Time's just sort of, it could go by, 20 minutes could go by and you don't really realize. That's the goal. Now, this might not happen every time. This definitely, well, it could happen first time. Don't get me wrong. It's very possible. It's a high percentage chance possible. But don't expect it to happen first time. That's what I would say. Never have an expectation. And one thing I want you to understand is that there's no such thing as a bad meditation, because your goal with meditation is to relax, is to focus, and is to shut off from the external world and go inside. So the fact that you are doing that, your intention is pure in general. So your intention is putting you into a meditative state. You're maybe just not having an effective meditation as possible, because you can also always have a better meditation. Do you know what I mean? But if you're not having a great meditation, that is still okay, because your intention was to meditate and relax. So that is just as it is. And as I said, in general, the goal is to get yourself to that theta state of mind, to get into a deep hypnotic brainwave so that your mind is essentially just cut off. And this is why meditation is so great, because essentially when you're in theta, kids from 0 to 7 are in theta. So when you're in theta, you have that creativity there. That is why a kid can pick up a mouse from a computer and pretend that it's a rocket ship, because the creation is in their mind to say, well, of course that's a rocket ship. It doesn't make any other sense that it's not. So the third and final type of meditation is a visualization meditation. This is my favorite one. Reason being is when you actually create something in here, and I like to use the word mental rehearsal or creative visualization. Reason being is it's more than just imagining something or just visualizing something. It's actually putting yourself into the image, the place, the video essentially in your mind that's going on, and really adding all your senses. Sorry, the dog's going absolutely nuts. And essentially what you're doing is you're having a full-on sensory experience in your mind. Now, scientifically speaking, when you have these full-on sensory experiences in your mind, you are creating new neurological connections in your brain. And I've done this before in other videos. Like, imagine that is the connection in your brain. You are breaking the old one, pruning it apart, and creating a new one, which is literally changing your brain just from mentally rehearsing something. So if you can do this enough times, your brain is said to have already done it. And it literally is like tying your shoes. That's why, if you look at any sports athletes, like professional athletes, they always use the power of visualization. They have already hit that shot. They have already seen that punch. They have already kicked that football. They have already thrown that ball in here so many times. And just like Bruce Lee once said, I do not fear the man who has tried 10,000 or has practiced 10,000 different kicks. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So if you mentally practice it 10,000 times, whatever it is that you want to create, whether that is you running a successful business, whether that is you making videos online, and I want to give you a sort of little insight into me, sort of sidetrack from the meditation in itself. I used to be the shyest person. Jumping on camera would never happen. I would not talk. Like, it was, hearing my voice was the worst thing ever. Now I hear my voice every single day because I edit videos with my voice on it. I speak to people every single day. But before, it was the worst thing ever. When I practiced in here enough times, eventually I got more confident, and then I began to do it more. Then I started to practice in here and practice out here, and I still practice in here in my mind anyway. And even now, my main thing is practicing on running retreats, because that's what I want to do once it's possible. And I want to be able to run retreats over in Bali and stuff like that. I practice it in here. I've literally seen the places in my mind. I've seen the people in front of me. So I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if, because I know it's going to happen. And the way to do some sort of visualization meditation is, again, starting with sort of the mindfulness, with the breathing, focusing yourself, getting yourself into a still present state of mind, and then just imagining. And this is the best part, because your mind can just wander and go anywhere. And when it goes anywhere, you can create anything, because up here, possibilities are endless. Now, this is where we sometimes have to getting into that theta state is allowing us to be creative so that we can create exactly what it is we want. And even down to the technique that I'm using now, and my program name, that came to me in a meditation. A lot of my videos have come to me in a meditation. And this one specifically actually came to me in a meditation. How to meditate. How to meditate, and then another one which I'm going to be making in a moment, which is going to be how to do an alternative if you don't want to meditate. And they came to me in meditation, so When I say meditation as well, I sort of use that interchangeably with self-hypnosis. I personally hypnotize myself, which gets me deeper quicker. That's the only difference, really. I'm going to quickly give you, because you've stayed to the end, the fourth and also a very, very, very powerful type of meditation called walking meditations. Reason I like walking meditations, and the reason I encourage people to do walking meditations, is because yes, it's all well and good to do your meditation with your eyes closed, sitting down with nothing going on around you. Very, very easy. You do it enough times, now that's where we start. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like this is going to start and be the easiest thing. We've got to start somewhere. For me, it's easy because I've done it for so long. I've done it for years. When I started to do walking meditations, if I'm in a present state of mind, I'm in a mindful state of mind, I can walk and I can be present, then I will begin to bring up that natural present state of mind, and I will be able to walk through my day feeling totally relaxed. I will be able to walk into situations that may